आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार और खूबसूरत शहर चंडीगढ़ में आप सबका स्वागत है। डॉक्टर रवि गुप्ता जी, उनकी पूरी टीम और यहाँ जिन्होंने चंडीगढ़ शहर में इस कार्यक्रम को रखा है। So my topic is regarding the management of straw. It's paddy straw, and you are all aware that it's a very burning issue. And particularly in September, October, November, the problem and gravity of the situation gets very intense, and NGT and Honorable Supreme Court and various other courts, they start issuing directions to the various authorities to stop the burning of paddy straw, which particularly pollute the environment in Delhi and around in NCR area. So I'll give you a glimpse of the Haryana state and how we are tackling and how we are stopping it, and to what extent we have exceeded and what is left out, and what the way forward we are planning. So I have given a title to it, Prali Ek Punji, Khushhali Ki Kunji. Unless we don't monetize the prali or anything waste into wealth, so it doesn't come to be a viable solution for any kind of problem. So for that, this is a title, Prali Ek Punji, Khushhali Ki Kunji. So in the next area, we have total 109 lakh acre area in our state, out of which 88 acre approximately is sown, and for which the area under paddy is 34.35 lakh acre. So by considering that 2 MT paddy straw is generated by the yield of 1 acre, we multiply it by 2, and it is almost 70 lakh MT straw generation. Out of this is a two type of straw. One is basmati straw, second is non-basmati straw. So basmati straw is particularly used for animals fodder, so it is well utilized. But for non-basmati, due to its characteristic of silica, it is not used in the fodder. So that is what we have to manage and maintain and retain, not to burn. So this is the paddy area and the straw production. As you will see that basmati area is increasing till 2019, and thereafter it's a decreasing trend. But non-basmati area, it is almost increasing and decreasing. So despite our diversification schemes and other schemes, this is still persisting the problem. This is the achievement. As you'll see that the graph is very zigzag. It is plus and minus, crest and trough every time. So in 2021, if you'll see that the figures of actual fire locations was quite high. But last year in Kharif 2022, we have been able to reduce it by almost 48%. So that is the achievement, and that was also applauded by Government of India as well as NGT and other dignitaries, other courts. But still the problem is very high. Still we have to put it to zero. These are our achievements for Kharif 2022. We have, as I told you, reduced almost 48% in AFL. The activities which we focused on, these are prevention. Primarily it is prevention, identification of hotspot villages, and allocation of resources in identified hot spaces. So this was the important targets that we have given to our field officers, and our field officers have achieved all the targets, and that is why we have reduced it to 48%. There are certain, it is a two type of management. One is in situ management, another one is ex situ management. For in situ management and ex situ management, we have given incentive of 1,000 rupees per acre to each farmer, those who manages the straw, the paddy straw. And number two, we have also promoted direct seeded rice. It's a kind of scheme that where you are not to transplant the paddy, but you have to put direct seed into the fields, and it is sown like other crops. So it requires less water, and the window between Rabi and Kharif gets increased. That's why we promote DSR. And for DSR, we used to give 4,000 rupees per acre to the farmers just to promote DSR. Likewise, there is another scheme, Mera Pani Meri Virasat, in which we diversify the paddy into another crops. If any farmer if any farmer quits the paddy grown acres and diversify to cotton or maize or any kind of another crop, we used to give him 7,000 rupees per acre. So these are two important aspects. These are two important schemes that we have brought for the farmers' welfare and just to promote them not to burn paddy. Likewise, we have used CRM machines. This crop residual management machines, it's a baler and the three other implements, it's a complete unit. We have given them at subsidy of 50%. And for CHC and FPOs, we have given subsidy up to 75%. So in that way, we have given them implements so that the management of straw can be done easily and comfortably. Likewise, we have also used decomposers. So we have taken 2.5 lakhs small bottles of decomposer, but again, it's still under trial, and HAU and other scientists, agriculture scientific universities are yet to certify it, but PUSA and other universities, ICR, they have given us to implement it, and we have used it free of cost to the farmers in their fields. And that was used for 2.5 lakh acre. So again, the results are kind of mixed in using these decomposers. So strategic plan to achieve zero burning, what we foresee, it is again the main component is IEC, because the preventive part is IEC. If you can educate your people, they can restrain before going anything wrong which is against the law. So IEC part is very important that we are focusing on it. Then again, in situ crop residue management, XC2, again then effective monitoring, but at the last, incentives, rewards, and recognitions, which is also equally important. So that is what we are planning, and we have also done last year, but this time we are getting it more sharpened and more refined way. This I have told you earlier that Basmati is 37 lakh MT, like non-Basmati is 33, out of which we are to, the target is for 36.7 lakh MT. For strategic plan to achieve zero burning, again, besides all activities which I told you, IEC and all that, this Haryana state is the only state in the country which has given a common determined rate for the paddy straw, for the paddy, and it is 2,500 per MT. And again, additional 500 rupees per MT is given as a top-up, where the humidity, where the moisture ratio is less than 20%, because for industrial purposes it is required. If it is less than 20%, then it is more useful in industrial purposes. Again, the continuation of 1,000 rupees for XC2 and in-situ management to the farmers, and MPMV scheme, Mera Pani Meri Virasat, for 7,000 rupees per acre. And again, the third one is DSR, Direct Seeded Rice Scheme, which uses less water and give more window between Rabi and Kharif. It is 4,000 rupees per acre. Next is monitoring of active fire locations. This is done by ICR and HARSEC. And last one is strategy formulated to achieve zero burning event for Kharif 2023 by creating IEC. So our first and last, both strategic plan depends on the IEC factors, preventive factors. For micro level planning, we have distributed our villages into three categories: red, yellow, and green zones. Red is where the fire locations were 6 and more than that. Yellow is where 2 to 5 fire locations, and green is where 0 to 1 locations. So we just identify our villages and we concentrate accordingly. For red zones, we depute and we deploy more forces to get our farmers understand the issues, the intensity of the burning problems. And likewise, we also take into account the services of our Gram Panchayat, our NGOs, our retired peoples, our ex-army peoples, our school students to persuade the farmers. For state government, we have also taken certain initiatives. There is a IOCL 2G ethanol plant at Panipat, which was inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister. And we have also given certain cluster-wise villages to the company so that the straw residues of that area, that cluster, will be given to IOCL plant. No other can interfere in that. No other company or private partner can go there and purchase. So it is the cluster of villages which used to give their straw to the IOCL plant. Like another initiatives, we have this new and renewable energy department, which has, I told you that, which has identified the clusters and given all industrial units certain clusters of villages where where the farmers facilitate the industries. And for Pusa biodecomposer, we have, I told you, utilized 2.5 lakh bottles for 2.5 lakh acres, and the results are mixed kind of. For Action Plan 2023, we have allocated, we have requested, and Government of India has allocated us 300 crore rupees for this, out of which we purchase machinery and we go for IC activities. And in situ machines, we have given more than 7,500, which we are again planning to give in addition to earlier one. And ex situ machines, it's a combo of baler, hay rake, sharp masters, so that all the three activities can be done by a single farmer or by single CHC or FPOs. So these are certain photographs on the side. And again, farmers are given 50% subsidy on each implement, and FPO or CHC is given 80% subsidy right now. So these are certain photos. This is in situ Pusa decomposer. These are the districts where we have used this Pusa decomposer. These are ex situ CRM management, certain photographs. And for industrial use, we use it in compressed biogas, bioethanol plant at Panipat, biomass plant, cardboard industries, fuel for boilers. And in other way around, it is also used in fodder. We also use in mulching and prali pellets. And this is the target which has already been given to all the industrial units. These are 11 units, and we have distributed it like this. All the units have a certain kind of cluster of villages, so that those clusters will feed the industrial units. And these are the plans to reduce the generation of paddy straw, already discussed at length, because of adoption of certain short duration varieties. Pusa 44, we are also discouraging it because it's a long-term variety. So with the help of Haryana Agriculture University, Hisar, and we had a workshop of 2 days with the scientists, with all our officers. And all the varieties which are long-term have been discouraged, and which are short-term have been promoted and encouraged. So these are the farmers' awareness and communication activities already discussed. I have told you. These are again some photographs of IC activities. And again, this is a pledge that we get it done by all the farmers and students and all the residents of the village. And this, the last part, is incentive, reward and recognition. So for all the panchayats which are in red zone and which are in yellow zone are given incentives. So any panchayat which is in red zone and transformed to zero burning, 1 lakh rupees incentive is given to that panchayat. Likewise, any panchayat which was in yellow zone and turns out to be a zero burning village, then we give 50,000 rupees. And again, the schemes of CRM incentive, 1,000 rupees per acre, is still continuing. rupees 7,000 per acre for MPMV and rupees 4,000 per acre for DSR scheme is still continuing. And additional this is again for the first time in our state we have done it, that for Gaushala, if any Gaushala takes this prali or paddy fodder, we give them rupees 500 per acre as a transportation charges, subject to maximum of 15,000. And this is monitoring and enforcement. There are 3 levels: district officers level, this is at the DM level or the deputy commissioner level. Second is at sub-region level, and third one is at village level. But after completing all these 3 levels and monitoring, if anybody finds like that, then we get an FIR lodged, and we also penalize them monetarily under certain provisions of the rules. And this is all about management of prali. But the best part is that we are getting all the pralis, all the paddy straw to be used for industrial uses, not to burn. And major focus is just to educate them, just to teach them, just to learn them that this is not in their favor, in their own children's favor, in their own generation's favor, even not for the health of the soil. So by educating farmers, we have been able to reduce it by 48%, as I have told you. And these figures are not our state government figure. These are the Government of India's figure, and they also monitor through their cyber systems. So if this is all, any question, any clarification, you are most invited.
This model is applied, can be applied in other parts of the country also, or because what most of the farmers are being facing that yes, they have alternatives, but they are too expensive for them. So that's why they have to do that stubble burning and all. So can this model be applied in other parts of the country also?
Very interesting. एक रूपता पाई जाती है, बट मैं कोई कंपैरिजन नहीं कर रहा, बट क्योंकि हमारी नेचर एक जैसी है इसलिए मैं पंजाब का मैंने नाम लिया है. फार्मर्स को एजुकेट करना पड़ेगा. फार्मर्स को यदि डाइवर्सिफाई कराना है तो जितने का उसका इकोनॉमिक फैक्टर है, जितने की वो फसल उठा रहा है एक से धान से, यदि आप उसके बराबर उसको कर दोगे तो वो डाइवर्सिफाई कर जाएगा, उसको कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. और यदि आपने ये कहा कि नहीं नहीं आप यही उगाओ तो वो मानेगा नहीं. हमने जो 7,000 रुपीज़ मेरा पानी मेरी विरासत में फॉर डाइवर्सिफिकेशन डिसाइड की है, ये भी उसी इकोनॉमिक्स पर ही की है. हर फसल का एक खर्चे का और आमदनी का एक हिसाब होता है, और उसी को ही इक्वेट करके हमने 7,000 रुपीज़ रखे हैं. Likewise, we have also decided 4,000 rupees for DSR. Because for DSR, you'll surprised to know that for the first time in the country, Haryana is the only state which had water conclave. And our Honorable Chief Minister attended for full 2 days. He spared full time. And we have planned at each village level how to protect and how to save our water. So it's a kind of movement. We have to start it like that. And we have to involve our all machinery into the system and to motivate and persuade our farmers for that. And it again depends to what extent you can motivate and persuade your farmer. So we are giving them good incentives and they are turning it. And this time for direct seeded rice, in which we save 30% water, we have trying to get a target of more than 2 lakh acre. And for that, as of today, it is 1.45 lakh acre in which farmers have registered themselves. We have a portal, Meri Fasal Mera Byora. So all the revenue data is already fed with their ownership. So farmer has to register themselves on that MFMB portal. And then and thereby we get it verified from our revenue officials, from our agriculture officials. And for all the Girdavaris, which are there, kind of 4-pronged action. Any farmer say, if I just upload myself that I'll go for DSR. So it is my assumption and I have uploaded it. Thereafter, the revenue department एग्रीकल्चर डिपार्टमेंट एंड हरसेक, the remote sensing satellite system. So these three agencies will also monitor it, and then we mismatch it. So any two entries which are not mismatched, which are on the same footing, which are at the same frequency or are same at par, so we just get it cleared. We just give them incentive. But anything find mismatched, then we again send it to the deputy commissioner. And we have given certain targets that 5% will be done by deputy commissioner himself, 10% shall be done by subdivisional magistrate, and then again 15% will be checked by Tahsildar, and likewise 50% by Kanungo, and like this. And we also depute certain other offices of other departments for the same. So we have concentrated, and we feel like that anything which you want to achieve beyond certain lines, it is only the persuasion and education part. ठीक है जी, thank you very much, शुक्रिया.